Hey, good morning, everybody. Sarasota Tim. That's real early. I've been up for about 30 minutes. Already got a pot of coffee made. Look, Cowboy and Indians on Grit TV. I love it. Let me turn it down a little bit. Yeah, this is the life. You know, when a man is solo and he wants to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, turn the TV on, not worry about bothering anybody, a man does it. A man does what he wants to do when he's by himself. It's awesome. It really is. There's enjoyment in sharing life with somebody. I got nothing against that either. I've had both. I enjoy both. I make the best of whatever program I'm on. Look at this. Black coffee. Not my cup. My cup's cool too, isn't it? Ah, that's some hot coffee. That cup my daughter gave me. She helped me pick it out on Shutterfly. And then this side says, Sarasota Tim, crush it. A lot of people have been saying I need to merchandise. We got some sayings, like crush it and do I use you? And it would probably be a good idea. But we'll just keep saying them and rolling like we are. That's all we need to do. But look at this. No creamer. I got it in the refrigerator. How many people say refrigerator instead of refrigerator? Refrigerator. That's a lot of words. So I'm laying there in bed and I woke up. If I hear noises sometimes, I'm a light sleeper. I'll wake up and I'll always got my phone right here and I'll say, hey Siri, what time is it? And she'll tell you. And I couldn't believe it. I said, you really? I thought it was like 5 or 6. It was 2 in the morning or I don't know, something. I said, no, I'm not getting up that early. That's a little bit too early. I'll be regretting it tomorrow. But the nice thing about being single and doing what you want to do, if you feel like a nap in the middle of the afternoon, man, sometimes I get so lethargic and lazy or tired, I should say, in the afternoon. And I'll fight it, and I won't go lay down. Then other times I'm thinking, get in there and lay down, man. Just lay down for 30 minutes. You'll love it. And so I do, and I do love it. You ever taken a nap? I love naps. I don't do them often, though. That's the best cup of coffee I ever drank in my life. Folks, look at this. What a mess. Have you ever seen my camper look like this? You should see outside around the truck. It wasn't going to rain, so I just left stuff laying around, tailgates down. Let me tell you how dark it is out there when, before the sun comes up of my location. I walked out the door the other day to get something in the middle of the night to get something out of the crusher. I couldn't find it. I couldn't find the truck. It was so dark out there, I couldn't even see my truck. I mean, you ever been anywhere where it's that dark? I'm talking black. There's no city lights. It's quiet. It's really kind of a bummer, sort of, that I'm not going to be here. I hope to find places like this wherever I go, because it doesn't have the intercoastal waterway and everybody living on the property and boats and this and that and Tight Pants Point. But trust me, this is a really nice place run by very nice people who aren't even here. They're 2 hours away. It's mostly people looking after each other, and I didn't know the people as well as I met them yesterday. So I had a little yard sale right out here, waiting for the big, heavy traffic. Our road is just for locals that live in here. And now people that live here, they go to work. This is where they live. This is like, these are our homes. And anyway, let me tell you about some of these people. That's good coffee. So I can't put everything in my truck. My truck has what they call a backflip that covers the bed. With the e-bike and the generator in there already, it's only a 5-foot bed. I've got this huge limousine cab. It's called a something Max, Crew Max. It's phenomenal. It's really a big, big, big cab. But you don't have any bed. And I mean, even a 6-foot bed or a 6.5-foot bed like Chevys and Fords have, it'd be a whole different ball game, and it would have the same towing ability that I have. Even just a half-ton Ford or Chevy truck, or even a Dodge truck, I would have more bed to put stuff. But this Toyota, this Toyota, just doesn't have it. Here, I'll show you. No, I'm not going to take you outside. It's dark. Look. Look at the bed on the back. This is exactly what I have, is a Crew Max. And you can see they have this tiny little box in the back. It's a great truck though. So I have this yard sale, and I started first I thought, I'm going to have to go to Goodwill, the dumpster, and donate to my neighbor next door for his generosity of, I buy him beer and things, when I come back from trips, for letting me store my seats and everything in his storage. I put the seats back in the truck yesterday. Yesterday was very busy for me. I actually felt like I had a prison job. So I said, I got a brilliant idea. I'll have a yard sale, and I'll put everything right out here. I got one of those folding white tables with the legs that fold down. You can raise them up in it. You've seen it in my videos. And I use it with the cramper when I was out there at the galley to cook on and things. And oh my gosh. I set everything up, and I sat in my chair in the shade. There's at least a 300-year-old oak right out here. And I'm sitting there waiting for the heavy traffic. This is a private road. There's only people that live here. So then I remember I'm on a group. We're on a Facebook group here for the residents. And like I said, we all look after each other very closely. But I don't know the people that well. I really don't. And so I put a little notice on there. Hey, yard sale, come on down. BR 549. If I'm talking to anybody out there that's not my age, that was from the show Hee Haw and Junior Samples. He was a used car salesman. But anyway, nothing was happening. Nothing was happening. I thought, oh boy, I put that tent up. You guys that recommended the tent for the cramper instead of the Easy Up and that big extension room that I had, that was a real pain to put up. I deployed the tent and I set it up. First time. Staked it down. Beautiful tent. Insto tent. Whoever recommended that to me, thank you very much. That was a cool tent. It's gone. I put it up. It was a good showpiece, and I had my table out there with stuff on it. I took some cardboard boxes I had, and I borrowed a magic marker next door, and I wrote sale, and I set it all up. You guys might have saw the video. And it was very successful. Everybody in here bought everything up. I have a few little odds and ends out there that I'll put out there again today, because I think these totes that I have, they're called Plano. They're black, and they have very good seals on the lid. They're not like these junks for $5, $6 you buy at Walmart. And if you saw in my video, I had these two big which the neighbor bought them. Totes are really, really big. You drag them, they got wheels on them. Really big. Albatross. There's nowhere in that truck for those. So those went. But I've got these black Planos that I bought at Home Depot that I used to put on the roof of my 4Runner, on that basket roof I had. Man, I went through the darndest rain you ever seen in your life, and nothing was wet in there. They're unbelievable. They're kind of narrow. They stack good. They're thick. They're not flimsy. They're not junks like that. They're really good. And I have 2 medium ones and 1 small one. The small one, you get a gift with it. It has large shirts and 34 waist shorts. There's got to be $300 worth of clothes in there that have been in there for 2 years. And they were a lot of clothes that I couldn't put in the Wolf Pup that I first just started storing because I had nowhere to put clothing in that little trailer. That's why I would never buy another one of those, even for myself. I know a lot of you keep telling me, oh, sell this and the Cramper and buy like a Wolf Pup. I will never, just tell you right now, all of you. Well, can't believe a damn thing I say, so that doesn't make any sense. But I wouldn't think I would ever buy anything, an RV, again, that's, unless I had 2 of them, like with the Cramper, that I couldn't put my darn clothes in. I have to have closets and drawers, and I got too many clothes, and not that many, but more than the Wolf Pup had. The Wolf Pup had nothing. It had that overhead shelving, like those kitchen cabinets right there, over the bed, and that one little closet that was down near the stove in the bathroom. And the floor plans in those smaller campers like that are basically all the same. I mean, you can either have a bedroom in the front or the bedroom in the back, the bathroom in the front or the bathroom in the back, or the bathroom on the side, which is really small. Good morning, everybody. But there's only so many ways you can do a small little space. What's unique about this, I'm very excited about the trip, because I was thinking to myself, I was going to tell you guys this. When I leave now with this one, after I get rid of those things that I can't take and have my little sale, I don't have to go through and start picking from the kitchen to the drawers to my personal items, all these little things that I might need, and pack another RV with certain spices, with certain battery chargers, with certain clothing items, with certain certain things, knives and forks and paper towels and soaps and all this, like to restock. That's what I did. That's what all that is. The Cramper that I got to put away in here. What I don't have to do now, what I like about towing this is, in one way, it's going to be simple, like the Cramper was, where I can just hook up and go. And everything is in here. But I don't want to tow anything unnecessarily, because this is going to be permanent, for the foreseeable future. I'm not returning here. I don't have a home base anymore. I have the road. So, that's really going to be cool. I can just, everything I own will be with me. I don't have to worry, did I leave that? Did I bring that? And as far as, I'll have to arrange a few things in here when I pull the slides in and get ready to tow, that won't topple over or fall, or when I brake or turn, and I'm going to drive slow too. I'm committed to that slow driving. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to ease this thing down the road, because the subscriber that told me that, I told 2 more people that yesterday about what I'm going to be doing, and quoting what they told me in the comment. If you drive 55, You never roll up on anybody. You never got to worry about going around with anybody. Nobody's ever holding you up. You just get over there in the right lane and park it and go. You may have to merge when you get, near some entrances where people are getting on, depending on the time of day. You got a lot of traffic trying to get on. Get out of the way. Move over one, then move back over. And if you ever have a flat tire at 55 miles an hour, it's an easy stop. You're going to get the best gas mileage. It's the less wear and tear on the transmission on the vehicle. It's nothing but good. And guess what? You get there just as quick as a guy running 70, because he's got to stop or she's got to stop and get fuel more often. And then they're back on the road, and here you are passing them again. You're like, hey, didn't I see you 2 hours ago? The old tortoise and the hare. So I know it feels impatient to drive, slow. You feel like I'm definitely going to be quicker if I drive faster. You don't get there any quicker. And if you do get there quicker, you know how negligible it is? You know how much difference if you go somewhere and we're going to the same place and you're doing 70 or more, between the traffic you run up on and a long distance of fuel you're going to need sooner and all that, if we get to the destination, we're both going to the same destination, you won't be there waiting for me very long before I'll pull in. Guarantee it. It has to be, in order for speed to matter, you have to be driving for days, going like cross country. In that case, even with more frequent fuel stops, it's going to cost you more money and everything. But over about 3 days, you could probably, significantly, a few hours or something, be there quicker. But it's not that much. Speed kills. So anyway, I'm going to just take it easy. And back to what I was saying. I'll probably take a couple of these right here that are empty, because I don't want to throw them away. I just bought them, $6 or something like that a piece. It just hit me right now. Because there's no room in the truck for them. But if I pull the slides in, I can put them on the bed or on the theater chairs right here. And I will, like my little flower vase over there, way over there. Over there. I can, my little model cars, well, they go in that little shelf right there below the sound bar. That goes in there too. So I do have to put a couple things away and make sure that coffee cup or something up there doesn't topple over and break. Other than that, I think if I tow easy like that, I'm not going to have to worry. It's just bouncing, Got 1,000 miles on these tires. They're Goodyear Endurance tires. I got to start showing you my tires again. Remember when I used to show you my tires? So when we start traveling, we'll be checking these tires out. I got dual axles now, Dexter axles. Those are the best. The same ones they put on Airstreams. The bearings are obviously packed good with grease, and the truck was just serviced. Everything is new and ready to go. This is not like jumping out there in a 10-year-old, 8-year-old camper that you just bought, and you don't know, you didn't get it inspected, or it's been a while since you've done something, or it's got some issues. Now, knock wood. That wood? Do I got any wood in here? Or is this all? Here you go. That I don't have any issues. Now, there was a guy down the street here. He works on RVs. He's a mobile RV technician. He doesn't go to work anywhere. He doesn't have a prison job, he says. He gets in his van, and that's his job. And he says it's real easy. He just picked it up since he started living in an RV. Well, I got to tell you about the people. And he came in here yesterday. He bought something from me. My 2 camp chairs. I sold them. I should have kept one. I put them out there like around the tent. Made it look kind of like a little camping thing. Yeah, I sold them both. Those are those director chairs. Of all the camping chairs I've ever had, those are the most comfortable. They're wider, they're more taut, the seat. Those ones that sag down a little bit look like a hammock, and the armrests are kind of a hammock. You get these pressure points on your arms, and you're sitting like this. They're terrible. Don't ever waste your money. They're cheap too. They're cheap price. Well, those director chairs I bought, I think they were $40 a piece. I got like half my money back. But I'm just trying to, if I want a chair, I was thinking, Tim, look, you got a chair. Just sit inside. I can pick one up for outside or something. Maybe there'll be a picnic table or something like that at a campground, whatever. But less is more. Do I use you? Gone. I made some tough decisions yesterday. But everything in here, I'll tuck away a little bit. I'll have my shower. I'll have all these things. And I said, I don't need it. I go to Planet Fitness. I'm still going to go to Planet Fitness. I got to work out. But, then I got to drag this. But we'll do it. We'll do what we got to do. We'll dial it in. We'll figure it out. And I was telling you about the people. The people here, I told you folks, Jacksonville is southern Georgia. This is not South Florida. Everybody up here, there's no one I've met yet that's from, and I say this respectfully, New York. I mean, it's just a different crowd. I didn't meet New Yorkers in Arizona either. Southern Florida is the Northeast annex. Palm Beach County is New York, New Jersey, New something. That's all that lives there. There are no, if you're from New York and you move to Boynton Beach or West Palm or Delray or Boca Raton or anywhere, Broward County, and you're from Long Island, New York, the city, New Jersey, you're going to feel right at home because everybody you meet, you'll be on common ground with. They'll be from the same area as you. And there's nothing wrong with them. I'm not saying that. It's just that they are a very fast-paced culture, people. That area of the country must run at just like on speed 78. Remember those record players that had 78? What record did you ever put on a record player that ran on 78? I knew 45 and 33. But anyway, people are very fast, and they're great people. I mean, I get along with everybody. I'm a chameleon. I can talk to anybody, believe me. But I'm from Alabama. I'm a southern guy. And I lived in Atlanta for years. And I lived in San Diego and pretty much everywhere in the bottom part of the country. I've never been to the Northeast. And I can tell you this, the southern people that take time to say hello, and they really mean well in getting to know you and talking to you. They're really interested. They're really good listeners. And so yesterday when they were coming around to like buy stuff from me, I met this guy and his wife from Mobile, Alabama. Now, they had an accent. They were the sweetest people in the world. He had a nice little Toyota truck in this beautiful blue. It's a bright blue. I thought it was a 19. It was a 2005. And guess what he had? He had a 6-speed manual transmission. You can't find a stick. It had a V6 in it too. You cannot find that. That is so rare. And he was so proud of it. And I forgot what he said he does. It involves driving a little bit. And another guy and his wife. Everybody had a wife except a couple people I met. Maybe only one or two that didn't have a wife. And they were all my age, or a little older maybe. And they were loving the RV life. They live in these. There's a couple of people in mobile homes. And one of them come down here a guy and his wife. He was funny. What a character. And it was just a pleasure talking to him. And they bought a few things. And they had a golf cart, a really nice golf cart that they used to be in another place, they said an RV park. That's kind of a popular thing when you live in these mobile home parks and some RV parks. People have a golf cart, to run around. I got an e-bike. So he had like a pickup truck on the back of it. And she said, how much for this, this, and this, and this? I mean, they bought it all too. They got all these few things. And I quickly was like working them out a deal. I want to give people a good deal because what was I going to do with it anyway? I had to get rid of it. And I want a good deal when I buy something. And they were just so nice. And then the guy with the truck and his wife came. They wanted the tent. He came by earlier and said, how much for the tent? I said, that's the first time I've ever put it up. I said, there's no poles. Who am I talking to out there that told me about this tent? You sent me the link, and I got it for the cramper. And I never deployed it because if you don't stake it down, it won't stay. The wind will blow it away. It's like that bathroom, changing room, little skinny thing that I had, that little tent deal. Well, anyway, little shower room. I deployed it and I said, you have no poles here. There's only one pole that you put together. It's the awning pole in the front, a little archway that you stick in. You know those poles, you pull them apart and they have a string between them and hold it. One pole. And you stick it in these two grommets, and then the awning, this has like about a foot long awning that pops out. Very handsome tent with a floor in it. But if you don't stake it down, it'll blow away. It's really light material. And so I couldn't use it in Vegas or Laughlin because I was on a parking lot. And, I didn't need it anyway. I had the gym, the casinos, restrooms, stuff like that to use. So that was a fun place. I really enjoyed that there. And I'll go back there. So he said, how much for the tent? And I told him, and like half of what I paid for it. And he said, let me go talk to my wife. I said, all right. And sure enough, he comes back with his wife. And I was trying to show him one of these generators I got, these power stations. I got like 4 of these power stations. And there's one right here. I have power. There's power in the blood. There's power in... You know that song? It's a church song. I'm getting hopped up, man. I'm getting hopped up. But when you tell somebody you need $600 or $1,000 or $500 for a battery, and you're having a yard sale selling jitterbug stuff, it's a little bit of a, what? No, but they know, they're not cheap, man. They're not cheap. And that's like half of what they cost. I got a couple of them that I'd sell for cheap. So anyway, these people were so nice. They came down, and they're all Southern. Jacksonville is Southern Georgia. Now, when you get into the city in certain parts, and there's crime, and there's all those things like any city. But everywhere I've been, people, especially the Walmarts, they are in such good condition. I remember when I went to North Carolina about a year ago, I had a dirt bike, and I went to meet a friend of mine from Charlotte. And I stopped, and I had to buy some warm clothes. I couldn't believe how full the shelves were and how everything was hanging. Boynton Beach looks like it was ransacked. It's just like somebody just went through there, a tornado. Everything's a mess. You can't get anybody to help you. Well, I'm not going to sit here and tell you all that because I just made it clear. It's a different speed and courtesy and respect that I'm running into here versus South Florida. I'm sure if I went to California, LA, Houston, I don't know, any of these bigger cities, these melting pots where people are from everywhere else but there, you're going to get a different vibe. But I like it here. I like the weather. I mean, it's 58 degrees outside. That's beautiful. It's going to be, yesterday, look at I got burnt. I got being out there on my yard sale. I'm looking at them. It's terrible. I felt it yesterday too. This is terrible. I don't need that. So I'll put some block on definitely every day from now on, because summer's coming and I'm going to be outside and doing stuff. This was bad by not putting something on yesterday. So I had my glasses on. I got raccoon eyes. But these people that came around yesterday were as nice as they could be. And they shared their stories. I asked questions, how long they've been living in here, and, what do they have? And some had fifth wheels, some had trailers, campers. Some live in mobile homes. And then a couple of the totes. I had everybody want to buy them totes. I guess I was in love with them, and I didn't want to get rid of them, so maybe my price was too high. But I got to let them go today. They got to go. And they're those Plano, Plano totes. Really good. There's a young guy, youngest guy in here. Got to be the youngest guy in here. A couple of doors down from me. And he come walking over yesterday, interested in the totes. He bought the two big albatross ones, the big blue ones I have with the wheels on them. They're great for storing like big items and lots of stuff. But they're not good because if you get them heavy, you can't put them on the roof of your car or lift them up or do anything. You just got to slide them in your basement or under your RV or something like that. So he inquired about the Planos, but he bought the two blue ones. And he had a cane, and he walked with a little bit of a handicap, and he's a young guy, and I didn't want to pry or anything, and we got to talking and chatting. I chatted with everybody. I love talking to people, and he shared with me, and I appreciate you guys pray for him, that he jumped out of an airplane and he hit the ground. Or he worked at one of these places that you simulate parachuting. But he's also actually jumped 300 times. And he told me that's like not a very big number compared to friends of his that have jumped hundreds, thousands of times, whatever. Anyway, he had a mishap. He hit the ground too hard. He thought he was for sure crippled or both his legs broke. He actually got up and walked. But the next day, the nerves were shot. He was confined to a wheelchair. And then, by the grace of God, he didn't break any bones. He's going to rehab. These nerve endings are actually healing. It may take a year or a year and a half, they say, but he walks with a cane now. He's got a very unstable walk, but he's walking. He's not in the wheelchair. And so I started asking him all about it, and he was telling me that, like, at first he couldn't even lift his toes up, and now he can do that. These nerve endings will come back. He said the doctor said if you saw a little progress and then it faded off, that you probably wouldn't, walk again or whatever. And he's gonna skydive again. Yeah, it's like people that have wrecks on motorcycles and still ride. There's nothing unusual about it. You would think, something like that happened, count your lucky stars and never do it again. But he's also known friends that have been seriously injured, and some died. but he's very passionate about it. So I just wish him well. I ask you guys to think about him in your prayers. His name is Nicholas. And so think about Nicholas in your prayers, that his nerve endings will come back even sooner, because he's anxious to get back to jumping again. And of course, he needs to have more of a normal life. He's a young man. And so he's really nice too, really nice. He shared everything with me. Everybody around here was nice. They shared with me and talked about things. One guy, I had a couple of fishing rods and a tackle box. I sold my fishing rods, 2 nice ones that I bought at Dick's. And these were one-piece rods. If you know anything about fishing, those are better than the ones that come apart. The ones that come apart are very convenient to throw in your car or back seat, but a real fishing rod is a one-piece rod. And I had a 7 and an 8 footer. And they were really nice. And, you can put different types of reels on them. And I've got the reels too, so I can buy more rods. I still have my reels. Where are those reels at? Why don't I know where they're at? Okay, well, I got to look into that today. So it was successful. I only have a few things left. And on the 30th, I told the landlady, and she said, "You're welcome back. You're a perfect fit in here. We love you, and your money's good. So come on back if you want." And they're getting ready to break ground and make this place, I don't know, 10 times bigger. Yep, they got that kind of land, and that's what's going on. They're making houses next door. Jacksonville is exploding like everywhere else. Development. But it's a very quiet place right now. There's no city lights. It's extremely dark out there when you go out if you don't have light or a flashlight. And the people look after each other very closely here because it's not a big place and everybody knows everybody. And like I said, we're on a Facebook group. But I was surprised at how well I was able to, God bless me, to sell a few of the things that I needed to get rid of. And I turned it into a little bit of money to buy some gas. And the people were happy with what they got from me. I gave them a good deal. And I don't have to carry the tent around, the chairs around, the fishing rods around. I mean, I didn't know where I was going to put those long fishing rods. It's certainly not going to fit in the back of a 5-foot truck bed. I was able to sell the cramper. Everything's coming along just great. So I'm making the transition, to pull in the Crasher now. What it was purchased for. While it was purchased to put at Ted and Jolene's and be a resident, I was intending on traveling with it when it got to be hot in the summer. I didn't want to stay there another summer. But I was going to live in it there. And it was going to be a couple's trailer, camper. And that didn't work out. So, since I was going to travel with it anyway in the summer and enjoy a little travel and make some videos and stuff, God said, you know what? I'm going to put you out there full time. So I'm up here since January. And of course, God's timing is always different than your timing. I had the eye surgery. I had to go back for pressure check every week. So I stayed down in Ted and Jolene's. And don't you see? Then a subscriber said, "Hey, I heard you say you might want to get something smaller to travel in, because my good friend over in Sarasota said, you might want to think about saving that gasoline in the Toyota truck and maybe getting a little enclosed trailer or whatever." He used to be a trucker, Fred, and he wouldn't lead you wrong. And I said, I've told the story before. No offense, Fred, but I didn't say that to him. It was like, I bought this. This is what I bought to travel with. Why would I want to have 2 RVs or buy something like that? And then turned out it was great advice. And then the subscriber, while I was in Boynton, waiting for doctor visits for my eye. Says, hey, there's one in Royal Palm Beach up there for sale on Facebook. Maybe you're interested. I go up there, I buy it. It was a good deal. It was fun. I really miss it. I mean, that little cramper and we became very acquainted. It was so easy to tow. It's so easy to use, and it has everything. That galley in the back, that thing is the bomb, using the old words. But I do see where a lot of you in the community told me that you bought this, pull it. Your truck will be fine. You got plenty of truck. You don't need a diesel. All right, okay. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm excited about it. And now, don't you see, I did get one trip in, so I know that I want to, I don't know what that was about. Maybe it was just about remembering how cool it looks. I always remembered the way the West is and the terrain and all that. And so I ran out there real quick with the cramper. I stayed at casino parking lots, $50 a week. I stayed at truck stops, Love's. It was a ball. It was a blast. And now I come back, had to have another doctor appointment. I go down there. I'm paying rent. And that started like thinking about that and listening to what you guys say in the comments about sell it, get out of the rent, use the cramper, sell both, get a smaller one, sell, do this, do that. But stop paying rent for something that you're not there. And I thought, all right, well, I'd rather do this, though, than put it in a storage yard, with no electric hook to it or anything, just sitting there, brand new. I don't know. People could come in the storage yard. You don't know about theft and, critters and all these things. And no. So this was what has come to fruition. Everything just kind of starts to come. And the same thing will be in your life. This is when we talk about, on my spiritual videos, that pray about things and let things come about in God's timing. It may take even longer than my little evolution happened. And in hindsight, it really wasn't that long. And everything was kind of fun. It wasn't even like sitting here waiting for your plan to come. I went out west. I bought the little cramper, sold the little cramper. And now I'm going to take this. I have no idea what's in front of me. I have no idea where I'm going. Except, I think north to the 40 first. Someone warned me about going through Atlanta and all that. You ain't got to warn me about Atlanta. That is a nightmare. I will avoid that like Dallas. Dallas was worse than Houston. Dallas is worse than Atlanta. Dallas, you can't believe a damn thing I say, but I said it. I'll never go there again. I'll go around it. I don't care how many miles I got to go. I'll do whatever I got to do to avoid that. Someone even told me in comments that there was routes I could have took to avoid that mess. Have you ever been to Dallas? Ever gone through it? Like, I'm talking about traveling, where you had to go up to Amarillo, and then you were coming back down to the 20, and you had to deal with that whole, it's like a day ride. It's not, almost all cities you go through, in 30 minutes, it would be a long time to get through it and over to the other side to where the traffic gets thinner. People are, going and doing around where they live right there in it, and you're back out into sparseness. Dallas is the biggest spread out concrete jungle of freeways going in every direction you've ever seen in your life. So anyway, I digress. So I don't know what's in front of me, but it's going to be exciting, and it's going to be good. And whatever challenges come, I'll deal with them. And I also have a fantastic community out there that's always somebody nearby. If I need advice or help or somebody to look up something or do something, I know that's for a fact. And I'll have everything outlined for me. I got my co-pilots out there. They're just sitting there ready. Mr. John's just sitting there ready. He's already sent me a couple of things he listens to everything I say. If I mention, all right, I'm going to go maybe to Moab, which is that's where I think I'm going to go. He's like, okay, best route. Planet Fitness is on the way. What did he tell me in an email the other day about something in the route and what the weather is? I mean, a wealth of information. This guy knows how to search, man. He does. And a couple of you do. A couple of you do. Donald's always finding property for me and teardrops and stuff like that. And the rest of you that send your encouraging, loving emails, got another one this morning that, want to go into a little longer talk, more private or whatever, and you send an email to me. Lots of you do. The other day I didn't make a video in 2 hours and I had 4 or 5 emails like, what happened? You all right? You guys are awesome, man. You really are. This is an awesome life I'm living. Like I said back earlier in the video, I'll end it in a minute. Are you kidding me? Oh boy. 46 minutes? Everything was different, a few months ago, 6 months ago. And life takes its turns. And we're all passing through in this world. But I've had so much encouragement lately. And God has brought these people into my life telling me these things. I'm a strong person. I can quit drinking. I quit smoking. I quit doing all these things. I try to do. I'm very strong-willed. I'm a confident person. I'm capable. I'm ambitious. I can do things as good as you can if you show me how to do it. Possibly I could. But I have that kind of, aptitude, sort of attitude. So what I'm trying to say is the things were different 6 months ago. And I'm happy the way things are going. I made a few comments about wanting to meet somebody and all that. Maybe that's probably not the best thing for me right now, to live this life. But it has gone from, passing out crackers and chicken nuggets and cheese at Publix, which I loved. I met the nicest people. Dressing up all dapper, to becoming a little more popular on YouTube and the channel growing. And now that's what I'm doing. But this is what I was going to say. So many of you have told me how you have been, and I hate to toot my own horn, inspired by wanting to live a life similar, by the fact that you were encouraged to get your Social Security at 62, that you didn't even know that you could get it at 62, or about the little side hustle, a prison job you could get to supplement it, about getting out of debt, about purging things, cleaning up your garage and your houses. All these little different things that we talk about have motivated and encouraged even our spiritual videos, how much you enjoy them. And that's the least I can do. I mean, I don't need to keep all this in. And if it helps somebody with all the reciprocation and help and encouragement I get from you and your support, it's the least I can do. And it's just fun. And to be able to share this, I always wanted to share it with a lady. That's why I said, when I bought this camper, in my previous travels when I had a Harley, I would always stop and think, man, it would be really great to be sharing this experience with someone. This is really kind of fun. I'm a fun guy. I know how to make it fun. And if I can toot my own horn, I'm good at vacations. One gal told me once that I used to be involved with, you're good at vacations. wasn't good at anything else, was what she meant. But she was just joking. But she wasn't joking. A lot of truth in jest, But anyway, I am sharing it now with millions, thousands, I should say. Thousands anyway, I'm sharing it with. And that's good enough for right now. It's even better in some ways. And because I get so much feedback that if I was sharing it with one individual and I wasn't sharing it with the world or the country, if this person would become discontented or whatever, we may not do as much as we're doing. But because you guys have ideas and want to see more things, and I know you want to see more truck stops and Walmarts and casinos. No, I'm just kidding you, but we're going to get around to seeing all those things. We're going to get around to doing all that. And by the way, someone told me that the government's supposed to pass a law. I'm going to look into it, that I can post these videos in these national parks. It burns me up that I can't show you the, and I'd like to go back there on my way back to the Grand Canyon. But I want to hit southern Utah, where Jeff and his wife is going, that have that beautiful property that's going to be sold, and they're going to be moving there. I'd like to go back to Hurricane, southern Utah, and investigate that as a place to kick it. Cedar City is a place about 6,000, 7,000 foot altitude to get out of the heat. So I'm looking for altitude, and I'm looking for mild weather. I do not want to go, because it's hot everywhere. It's not just South Florida. It's summer, right? It's hot in New York. It's hot everywhere. But there are cool places. There are northern high altitude places. And if I can find them and get to them, that's where I would like to kick it. Just like all those people that go to Quartzsite, Arizona in the winter. And I might hit there, this coming fall. Maybe I'll run up on Isaac again in my travels out there. I reached out yesterday, but I didn't hear back from him. Mr. Scott, that's from California, that I met at a Buc-ee's as I was going out west. He was coming to Pompano Beach, Florida, down around Boca Raton and everything. He bought the same exact camper. He had a Ford half-ton truck. He was staying at Walmart's. He watches all my videos. And if you're watching this one, how you doing? You got to get back to me. I was texting you yesterday saying that I'm going to be pulling this, and what do you think about that? Because he pulled his, and he kind of told me that I was doing the right thing when I was pulling the cramper, because he went from San Diego to Boca Raton, Florida, Pompano Beach, and then over to Fort Myers, the west coast of Florida, and back to San Diego within like 2 or 3 weeks. That's a haul. So if he can do it, I can do it. He had a half-ton truck. I got a half-ton truck. He was getting crappy mileage. I'm going to get crappy mileage. But he made it back. He checked in with me when he got back. And the old girl, she tows with her Dexter axles. She crushes it.